then sorghum, then small millets are finger millet and many it's 9 total small millets are there. They are having an area of around 12.14 million hectare and with production of 16.5 million tons. It is coming closer to wheat day by day. And then sorghum mainly grown in northern states. Pearl millet also grown in northern states. Then small millets, finger millets, they are grown in many states. And then millets and climate. Yesterday, Honorable VC sir was telling that 140 mm rains were there and all the millets were washed out. In Bhopal region during the same time, 410 mm rains was there continuously. So millet, although it is a climate resilient crop, but this needs to be grown in a climate smart way also. So as far as millet and climates are concerned, millet is having the capacity to reduce the global warming potential. Carbon equivalent emission in rice system that goes to around 956 to 4,600 kg carbon per hectare, whereas in pearl millet and sorghum it is minimal less to 878 to 916 kg carbon per hectare. So when we look at the sustainable growth of millets, then promotion of mechanization and processing and value addition, that comes in picture where the role of CIAE is vital. So we visited IAMR also to study the problems of production mechanization. Then it came to a scenario that major millet harvesting is a major problem. Means sorghum and pearl millet, and in which this lot of rice fallow area is there, in which sorghum is taken later on. That harvesting, if it can be done mechanically, then the area under sorghum or pearl millet can be increased. So unit operations requiring mechanizations are, if we can address only 3 operations in a nice way by the machinery, that is sowing, harvesting and threshing, its area is supposed to increase a lot. Then existing machinery available for sowing, as our Honorable Director has also covered, a lot of machines have been developed with CIAE. Then manually operated millets are usually grown on marginal soils, or the soils which are not taken for regular crops. So right from manually operated machinery to 3-row planter operated by bullock, for those in the region where animate power is there, and then 6-row tractor operated sowing machinery are also available. One has to adopt it for that particular millet in that particular region. Then existing machinery available for harvesting. Challenge is here in harvesting the millets. Sorghum, how it is harvested, it is having the height of up to 3 meters, and here in IGFRI also we were growing this fodder sorghum, and its thickness used to get up to 50 mm. Then in that condition it was very difficult to harvest it with any machine, and then finally sickle and then X was the only answer. So in that case, one can see that harvesting is done manually, then panicles are separated, and then stalks are made, then threshing is done. So all this is having a longer process. Manual harvesting mostly on undulated terrain and where a tractor cannot operate, harvesting is done manually only, and then panicles are kept in the basket. That is giving maximum capacity of up to 30 kg per hour. Rush cutters, they are also being used to harvest the sorghum, but when the stem of the sorghum becomes thicker, then brush cutter is also unable to cut that. At international level, as was being discussed in the morning, they are using lot of combined harvesters to harvest it and thresh it at the same time. But in our condition, I will tell how it is different, that we cannot use combined harvester. Many developments have come, they have used sugarcane harvesters, then other harvester for harvesting of the sorghum, but they are using it for other purpose, for making ethanol and for malting it in some way. In our condition, we are interested in grains, and when we are interested in, when they are harvesting at a bigger level, their moisture content is around 18 to 20%. In our case, since we have to take out the cereal, so moisture content should not be more than 12%. In that case, one has to harvest and leave it for drying, then threshing is to be done separately. We also thought of going for combining, but it came to picture that we cannot do combining in one go because we are interested in cereals. So likewise in China and other, they are doing combined harvesting together. If their if their cereals are getting chopped with the threshing drum, then also they don't worry. But we have to take out cereals intact so that we can use it for other purposes. Then a lot of combined harvester available in India. They have also been tried for combined harvesting of this millets, small millets particularly, but the success was less. And when at optimum moisture content of 12 to 14%, they tried to combine harvesting, then lot of shuttling loss was there, which was unacceptable, more than 10%. So tests were done in Krida also to make a sorghum harvester, power tiller operated, and then PDKV Akola also, but the successful machine was yet to come at most places. So at CIA Bhopal, we, as sir told, that we developed a zero sorghum harvester. When this plant and biological and mechanical systems interact, then we have to study many features. In that condition, then sorghum torque requirement means cutting force requirement, cutting energy requirement, torque requirement, all these were established in the laboratories in CI Bhopal. Then 3 types of blade were tried, plain blade, then serrated blade, then circular straw type of blade, and it was found that the serrated blade was best for harvesting sorghum plant. And in thicker lands of 35 mm diameter, the torque requirement was maximum. Okay, sir. Then this was the developed H0 sorghum harvester. Lot of systems were there in this machine, and then it could harvest a single row in a better way. You may see how it harvests. We were interested in 2-stage cutting. First for cutting from top side and collecting the grains, and then second cutting from bottom and collecting the residue, the plant for this fodder purpose. So now again we are on the way to increase its capacity, and a new machine is expected soon. Although this machine has been commercialized, it has been given to manufacturer, and this will be available in market also. Then likewise in Tamil Nadu and other places, a lot of harvesters have been tried, and now we are planning to get a high capacity major millet harvesting machine for sorghum and barley. This is the concept we are trying. Then millet threshing. Manual beating is the common practice in the undulated terrains of Madhya Pradesh in Chhindwara and this Pachmali region. They are still using bullock power for threshing the millets. We visited the field and the shelf life was being talked about. They said that if the millet is dehusked, then its life becomes very small. And if it is left dehusked, then it can be kept for decades. That was the observation from farmers there. Then lot of threshers have been developed, as was being talked in morning, that one thresher or one further or one dehusker can be made that serves the purpose of many millets, but that cannot be done, sir, because the physical properties of every cereal is different. Small millets, very small, then means for one particular millet, one has to go for a particular set of machines. Then lot of threshers have been developed. Then per millet thresher was operated by 5 kilowatt means 5 HP electric motor. Then tractor operated threshers also came. Then this particular thresher was made in CI Bhopal, the upper one, the small millet thresher that was having Almora. Then it was forwarded BPKS. Then sir, for per millet axial flow type of thresher is required, and lot of threshers have been developed in national and international scenario. And now where are we stuck up? Way ahead in mechanization in millet production. A lot of things have been talked in channelizing through entrepreneurs, but in the form of conclusion, we can say that in millet production, sowing in plain lands, that requires typical kind of planters that we already have, but this needs to go to farmers or organizations where millet is being taken in more area. Then motorized harvesting major millets and minor millets. Major millets we are trying for making tractor operated high capacity harvesters. Then for minor millets we are yet to see that how it can be done, means using power. Then the threshing again is to be done according to the particular millet, and this is the scenario where we can make some land for increasing the production and area. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any clarification? One or two clarifications?
Most of the harvesters have been developed based on the American model. I think for our conditions, what I have seen at least the Kubato and Yanmar, other harvesters from the Korean and the Japanese models, they are much better. And probably harvesting, at least from my experience, it is a major challenge. Sowing is also one major challenge. Harvesting is even greater challenge. So we need an organized research on science, like we have spoken about the processing technology and all. Probably if we do not have efficient production related technology solutions, we will not be able to make millet production profitable to the farmer. Because the farmer is able to, crop production may be about 10 quintal or 15 quintal, but when they harvest, they may only realize some 12 quintal or 10 quintal. There are a lot of losses. So I think this is one area where we need very specialized engineering work and design for catering to all the millets, especially for small millets.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You are reply?
Okay.
First you reply.
Actually, in CIAE, sir, we are targeting to harvest this major millets, which is a major problem, and that is covering area of more than 70% under millets. And for this small millet harvesting, minor millet harvesting, we are here to adapt it. And this is a major challenge. If it is solved, then we understand that area productivity and the risk is
Many farmers are,
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to cultivate because they said, no, we cannot harvest. We are growing, but we don't have people to harvest.
Usually you highlighted about the harvesters from Kubota Yanman. Those are mainly suitable for rice harvesting. And particularly for harvesting of crops like sorghum, we have developed one harvester. We have commercialized also. In that we have to harvest the ear head separately and then from bottom also. So we have made provision for both. And those are different machines as compared to machinery available in US or Japan or other countries. Even for some other millets like pearl millet also we may require to go for some modification in the developed harvester for sorghum, then it can be made suitable for that crop also. So the efforts are required particularly for harvesting of millets. Even the reaper conveyor or reaper drum binder can also be used for harvesting of the millets, and we have tested also. So your observations are there.
So I have a small query, sir. So I was in the Northeast में था तो हम लोग वहाँ pulses को और millets को वहाँ प्रमोट करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे। हमारी जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती थी वो आती थी क्योंकि वहाँ ह्यूमिडिटी कम होती ही नहीं है, 15% से नीचे आएगी ही नहीं। तो हमारे न तो हम मिलेट्स में की प्रोसेसिंग कर पाते हैं वहाँ पर, न तो पल्स की कर पाते हैं। जो आपको चाहिए सिर्फ आपने मशीनें भी दी थी, वी कैन नॉट यूज दैट। तो क्या कोई ऑप्शंस है कि हम उनको हायर मॉइस्चर कंटेंट में भी हम वहाँ थ्रेसिंग कर पाएँ, जहाँ हायर इनफॉल जोन है वहाँ पल्सेस इंक्लूडिंग मिलेट्स?
इनके लिए तो हमें चेक करना पड़ेगा थ्रेश एट हायर मॉइस्चर कंटेंट. We may have to go for some minor modification in the existing thresher to make them suitable for threshing at higher moisture.
मैं जब मैं उमियाम में था तो मैंने आपके इंजीनियर से आए तो उनसे भी बात की, अपने वहाँ इंजीनियर से भी मैंने कहा, लेकिन वो भी नहीं कर पाए।
नहीं, वैसे adoption mechanization particularly northeastern
मैंने I'm talking about threshing only. I'm talking about threshing only. Threshing के लिए
threshing के लिए भी जैसे वो pedal operated thresher has been introduced particularly for rice crop.
Sir,
It is working good.
तो राइस का थ्रेशिंग की पल्सेस एंड मिलेट्स में प्रॉब्लम है।
Millets तो पता नहीं वहाँ ट्राई नहीं किया, पक्के की बात कर रहे हैं. So for that we are trying it. And for that one thresher has been developed at Secret Ludhiana also.
सर एक मेरा क्वेश्चन है, यस एक्चुअली सर, पहले जो मिलेट्स की खेती तो हमारी पुरातन खेती है और पहले लोग मिश्रित क्रॉप करते थे, मिलेट के साथ जोंदरी बो देते थे, राहर बो देते थे और कई तरह की फसल बोते थे। अब चैलेंज ये है कि निदाई तो होती नहीं, हाथ से मजदूर मिलते भी नहीं है। तो क्या ऐसी सोच है कि हम ऐसी कोई मशीन डेवलप करें जो कि मिश्रित क्रॉप में भी मिलेट्स को गाड़ सके जा करके? क्या ऐसी सोच भी है अभी? क्योंकि ये बड़ा चैलेंज है, किसान अभी भी चाहते हैं कि मिलेट्स के साथ राहर वगैरह बोए, जोंदरी वगैरह बोए।
Okay, yeah, very good. It will depend upon the crop which are grown together. If crop are having nearly same geometry, then we can use one harvester to harvest it. For example, like if crop is like rice or wheat, then we can even use reaper combiner also. If it is just like sorghum, in that case we can use another harvester. In that there will be two separate cutters, one at the top to harvest the ear heads, another at the bottom to harvest the stem also. So for that purpose we have to see. And sometimes it may not be possible to harvest it using same machinery, it will really intercropping and having different crop geometry. Then we can.
We should go for intercropping, not for intercropping. We can adopt intercropping.
Intercropping also, we can harvest it using single row units. In that case, we can harvest one row of a particular crop, and then we can harvest another row of that, another row of another crop using another harvester. So it will depend upon the crops which are being grown.
But my idea is farmers do not need mechanization for mixed cropping or intercropping. For example, with ragi, they take up 2 or 3 kgs of Niger, they harvest it manually, and they take cowpea also for vegetable purpose. For vegetable purpose, they don't need harvesting. So, for their domestic need only, they do mixed cropping. Of course, ragi will be there, ragi as a main crop, but Navadanya system we call this rapeseed and mustard for spice purpose, and then Niger for oil purpose, and then fodder jawar for fodder purpose. I don't think we need an harvester for all of them together.
Actually, we cannot develop machinery for all the expectations, particularly if we have to change our cropping pattern also. For example, cotton picking, that is being done in US etc. using machine, because they are having single maturity crop. Here we are having multiple maturity crop. Even we have to put degrowth also. So we have to change the variety, or we have to change the cropping pattern also to use machines for carrying out different operations.
Go for the next speech. Please, madam. Neelam Upadhyaya, millet-based value addition, millet-based value-added secondary and tertiary products and bioactives.
We will take 10 minutes.
A very good afternoon to the Honorable Chair, Co-Chair, Convener Sir, dignitaries and dear students. So the topic allotted to me is millet-based value-added secondary and tertiary products and bioactives. Although many of the things are already covered, so I'll rush through those slides which are already covered. So here the 3 important terms which are given to me in the topic are millets, then bioactives and the processing. So I'll touch upon all these 3 things. When we talk about the introduction of millet, they are capable of addressing the global issue of malnutrition, hidden hunger. There are majorly 3 deficiencies which are very much prevalent around the globe: iron deficiency, vitamin A deficiency and iodine deficiency. So yesterday the presentation from NIM, sir said that millets also contain carotenoids. So with that, like we can, although they will not be meeting 100% requirement of vitamin A, but yes, to some extent they will be helping out, and we know that they are rich in iron, so definitely they can help out with anemia. And then food, nutritional and ecological security can be met through millets. Then we are saying that they are small grain cereals. So with this, their bioactivity is also enhanced. For example, if we are just incorporating, because of their small size, they can be incorporated into the food products like breads or tortillas. Then in such conditions, they can escape the stomach and small intestine mechanical forces, and because of the intact structure of the grain, the enzyme accessibility will not be there, but yes, satiety will be there, as a result of which they can be used for addressing the issues of obesity and such issues, insulin, diabetes also. Then having the properties similar to the nutri cereals, so they are also sometimes categorized together. This one paper I got which says that in the Bundelkhand region, pearl millet, sorghum, kodo millet, little millet and barnyard, they are majorly grown. Now we move on to the bioactives. We know that millets can resist different agroclimatic, they can tolerate the stress, drought. So because of this, some secondary metabolites, they are generated in millets, and these secondary metabolites are basically the functional bioactives for human beings. And as the term indicates, so bioactives are those substances which show the biological activity, and this will depend upon the substance, dose and also the bioavailability of that particular bioactive. Besides this, they also contain the protein. So in protein they have sulfur containing amino acids like methionine, then carbohydrates. So millets naturally are containing resistant starch that I will talk about in subsequent slides. And with processing we can further increase the content of resistant starch. In lipids, so they contain PUFA, polyunsaturated fatty acid. Besides that, some minor lipid components are there, like phospholipids are there. So phospholipids are very good for the brain. Then minerals, we already know. Vitamins, yesterday again in the presentation it was said that folates, they are rich in folates. So if they are rich in folate, so you all might be, the house might be aware that folic acid deficiency and vitamin B12 deficiencies, they are very common in the pregnant and lactating women. So in that case, again they can help to address that, and further if we are processing or we are doing fermentation, then further content of vitamin B12 will increase. Then we talk about the phytochemicals which are present in millet. So numerous phytochemicals are there, like lignans, beta-glucan, GABA, that is gamma aminobenzoic acid, inulin, resistant starch, sterols, phenolic compounds. So lignans is very interesting. Initially, maybe a decade or more than that ago, basically lignans are phytoestrogen, which means they have the ability to mimic the estrogen, human estrogen. So especially they will be helping in the post-menopausal conditions, wherein the body, female body does not produce enough amount of estrogen. So in such cases, these phytoestrogens, they are going to have good effect. Initially, soybean was considered to be very good source of phytoestrogen. Then came flax seeds. Now millets are also coming up in a big way, and little millet is considered to be a good source of lignans. Polyphenols, yesterday Kiran sir from Navi already talked about it, but I'll just add upon that polyphenol content, the distribution and concentration of polyphenols in the millets, it varies from type and variety of the millet, and also within the grain, the distribution varies. So when we are processing it, depending upon the process that we are adopting, the content of polyphenols will also vary in the grain. There are basically three types of polyphenols: hydroxybenzoic acid, hydroxycinnamic acid and flavonoids, which are found in millets. This is a list. So yesterday sir said that they are going to have a good impact on the gut microbiota. Besides that, they also act as antioxidants, and they show anti-carcinogenic effect, anti-inflammatory, antiviral, so on and so forth. So how they act as, they have the enzyme inhibitory activity. So if they are having the enzyme inhibitory activity, which again leads to the satiety, as a result of which you will be consuming less food, and it will be addressing the issues related to obesity and non-insulin dependent diabetic mellitus. So this is the mode of action, how they act or they inhibit the amylase. Now moving on to the next part of the presentation, which is millet based value added secondary and tertiary products. So why there is at all need of the secondary or tertiary products? First is that millets as such, they contain some anti-nutrients, so the processing has to be done so that we can reduce the content of anti-nutrients in it. Then as such, they are not that much palatable. So for improving the palatability, processing has to be done. And in this case, and moreover, like when we are talking about the International Year of Millet or the Millet Decade, so the global millet market is also increasing, and also the Indian market is increasing with respect to the processed foods. So we can categorize the processed foods into primary, secondary and tertiary. In primary, basically it is a very like simple process, or in this not simple process, but yes, the product which is obtained is dehulled millet or millet grits. So basically in this we are removing the inedible portions from the millets. So the primary processing which is done is cleaning, dehulling, grading and drying. So the topic given to me is basically secondary and tertiary. So the raw material of the primary products, they will be the raw material for the secondary products. So in this falls millet flour, millet flakes, puffed millets, fermented millet batter, and the common secondary processing techniques which are used are milling, flaking, puffing, fermentation, parboiling, malting, and this raw material for the secondary products will be the tertiary products will be the secondary products. So in this tertiary product, basically the ready to eat, ready to serve or ready to cook, those kinds of products will fall under the category of tertiary products, like extruded millet snacks, millet pasta, millet chips, bread, then beverages. So I'll touch upon only few of the process because of the paucity of the time. When you talk about flaking process, so in this we take millet grain, then it has to be soaked, then steaming is done, then roasting, drying is done, and then finally flaking is done. This is a normal process, but yes, it has to be standardized with respect to each of the millet grain because of different properties that they possess. Now I'll just talk about that what physicochemical changes which are taking place during this flaking process and how they are enhancing the nutritional content of the millet. So soaking when you do, so it softens the grain, it swells the grain, and also it reduces the anti-nutrients, and if anti-nutrients like phytates they are reduced, then obviously the mineral bioavailability is will be increasing. Then we go for steaming. So when you are going for steaming, the gelatinization of starch takes place. Gelatinization of starch increases the starch digestibility, and further it will reduce the cooking time and the phenolic content. Now I'll move to one step forward. So basically when you are doing starch, so this is the structure of starch granule. So it is an ordered structure. Now when you are gelatinizing the starch, this structure opens up, and then there is some disruption and some orderliness is reduced, crystallinity is reduced. But when you are going for the next process, which is roasting or drying, then this starch gets, the gelatinized starch gets converted into more ordered structure, and that is retrogradation of starch, and in this case the resistant starch gets formed. So when this resistant starch gets formed, as the name indicates, resistant starch. So starch is generally digested by alpha amylases, but when this resistant starch is formed, so what happens is it is not digestible. So if it is not digestible, then it will not increase the blood sugar level, or the glycemic index of such food will be less. So this is the basic concept when we are going for processing. And therefore, in terms of resistant starch or the satiety, it will be better. The content of resistant starch is higher in lentil, then barnyard, kodo, then finger millet. So this is again a different way of depicting. Next is popped millet. So again, popping, sir already said, and then he also said that I think Malaysi sir talked about it. And he said that sand treatment should be avoided, and yes, I was also going to tell the same thing because of some contamination may occur. So for that purpose, sand should be avoided, but yes, it is still in use. Besides the gelatinization, so sir also talked about pre-gelatinization. I am not going into the detail of that. One more thing I'll like to add upon is the Maillard reaction products. these days Maillard reaction products, they are coming up in a big way, not only in the millets or the cereals but also in the fruits and vegetables. Why? Because they are having very good antioxidative properties and they retard the food oxidation also, and also they are good for the consumption. But yes, excess of everything is bad. If you are consuming too much of antioxidants, then they are going to hamper the processes in our body which basically require the reactive oxygen species. We have already studied in 11th class, so I will not get into the detail of that. So Maillard reaction products are formed by the interaction of sugars of aileron layer and the amino acids of millets. Malting process, so time is very less, so I have to just rush through. So malting is a very beautiful process and it increases the sensory appeal, nutritional properties many folds, and also that you get a very good product, and a range of products can be created through the malting process or the malted flour. Extrusion. Extrusion basically, so when you are talking about the processing, it is the protein, starches, all those things only they are playing the role. जो मैंने बताया वो इधर उधर होकर ना everything will fix it in different processes because they are temperature, pressure, all those dependent processes. तो वो आप लोग fit कर लीजिएगा because 10 मिनट ही है मेरे पास. So in this starch protein matrix is formed, right? In case of extrusion, starch protein matrix is formed. So when the starch protein matrix is formed, again, छोड़ दो. So next is the non-fermented millet beverages like millet milk. It is nowadays picking up because of this vegan thing, and then fermented millet based beverages, they are also many are traditional, but now the companies are also coming up for commercializing them. In conclusion or in takeaways, I would like to say that there is a unique combination of therapeutic potential and also agroeconomic potential as far as millets are concerned. Their future is no doubt bright, but optimization of processing technologies is required for uniform end quality product. This is very important because at different places the product is being developed, and I don't know whether too much of science is involved in that, or we are just focusing on the palatability or taste of the product and we are developing the product, or we are actually going for the science ki agar 50 degree par hona hai to 50 par hi ho raha hai, it is not happening at 40 or 60 degrees. So these minute things we should look into being from scientific background. Next is we talk about diversification of product, but diversification or the processing of the product, but are we doing it with or without additives? Because if we are adding too much of additive, then again it is going to, later on we'll be having the conferences for reducing the content of additives, because nowadays INS containing food products, consumers they are not liking the INS containing food product. INS is International Number System, which is given for the food additives. So we have to be very vigilant when we are making a food product that it should be minimum in the additives and also the limit is followed. Then detailed standards, as Chairman Sir already said, detailed standards on millet and millet products, they are not there. So they will be there only if we join hands together and we focus like some groups are made and we are developing products. Based on that, we can give the recommendations which can be followed or taken up. Then collaborative research, scattered research is taking place here and there. So collaborative manner it has to come, and also lack of academia and industry partnership. This is what I have also seen. So this lady, last year she came to see me. She is Srimati Sharmila Oswal, referred to as the Indian Millet Women of India. Urban Millet Women of India, and she is working on millet milk. They are selling their technology to barista, but then they were facing some problems. So she had come to discuss to me, and I said, "Ki, ma'am, why should I reveal everything to you? Why don't we work in collaborative manner? We can have a very small project of say three months, 4 months duration, and if you like the approaches, then we can prolong the duration of the project. But thereafter, she never turned up. So that is also a thing that academia and industry partnerships should be there. That is what I have to say.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
You have opened up the topic on secondary and tertiary products and bioactives. So before going for the panel discussion, shall we have the video of Dinesh Gadri? Marcel.
So now study myself Dinesh, I'm based in Anantapur district, Andhra Pradesh, and working on millets for the past 27 years. So most of the things that we have discussed in the past 2 days, quite a few things have been attempted and done by various people. So I have been fortunate enough to involve as an engineer on the challenges related to the primary processing and the secondary processing of millets. So in the past 10 years we have worked and developed, improvised many of the machines for primary processing, and so we have developed an improved multi-millet modular DLR which can process all the millets quite efficiently with low power. I'm just playing a video of that. Right now we are showing the partial millet processing. Partial millet processing with the newly designed DLR. This is a clean grain going into the DLR through the elevator. You can see the non-metal entering into the DLR. This is about approximately 300 to 400 kg about the quantity. This is the DLR, DLR chamber. The hard material is going into the consolation chamber, and here the cleared material, the husk and the hard grain is separated. You can see the flow here. Now output of the consolator, which is feeding into the secondary aspirator. This is fed into the grader through this elevator. So you can see here. This is a 3-inch grader. This is separating the broken, the hard grain and the hard grain. So the DLR is giving very good result. It's about more than 95% DLA efficiency. You can see there. So this will go through one more part and we get almost 99% DLA. So this is the broken. So this is one more we have developed one of the main challenge in the millet processing is even before we do the dealing, the uniformity of the grain is extremely important because the grains are very small, like from anywhere from 1.2 millimeters to less than 2 millimeter size. So even uniform the grain, the better is the efficiency of dealing. And we have been able to. These are simple, easy to maintain machines, very low power. Half HP. This grader is running with half HP, can do about 750 kg per hour, about 2 to 2.5 tons a day. And the DLR can do around 400 kilos per hour, so what another 2 tons. So a cluster of villages or an FPO can handle about anywhere up to 500 tons, so 2 to 3 crore of turnover. We have been operating for the last 15 years. So this is some of the things that we have developed. Anyone is interested, they can they can have more details from me. We have been able to get the best quality, with the kind of the basic machines or other things with some improvement. In terms of the quality of the produce, everything 100% clean, graded, and we've been even sent to America and many places, but all over India. So we can train people also in the processing and also in the many of these memory processing technologies. So thank you.
Suggestion for Dalia. I think Dalia is very much liked in the northern India. So if you can get the Dalia from this millets, because you are already creating the program, so that can work as a Dalia. And the people want something like that.
Yes, we have the whole range of products, especially like we have done. One is the rice processing, we have fine-tuned, 100% it has been fine-tuned. So all the basic machines, whichever that we have worked, which had problems, we have modified both in the CU's decks and the nipple meshes, other things. So those things have been more or less standardized. Because last year in 2023, International Year of Millets National Challenge, Innovation Challenge, we have been selected by the Niti Aayog for this development work. So we are one of the people who cleared the technology challenge thing, and so we have developed these things. And I have about 25,000 hours of experience in the last 20 years. So semolinas are extremely important for the secondary, the secondary products or tertiary processing. So we have developed very good quality idli ravas, upma ravas, and like you have said, the dalias. In North India, dalia is a very important thing for people to. So from our experience, the product range, another thing is the culinary skills. If both are combined together in an organized manner, I think driving the consumption, we have to replace what people are used to along with the millets, but I am not saying that completely eliminate the paddy or wheat, but we need to diversify. So that we have been able to do over the last 15 years. We are handling today anywhere around 300 to 400 tons annually. But with the network of our friends and others, we are dealing with something about 10,000 tons capacity. So dalia is good. So many other farms that we can do.
सर एक क्वेश्चन प्लीज सर, ये अगर आप बता पाएं कि कितना इस सेटअप को लगाने में कुल कितना खर्चा है अगर हम बुंदेलखंड में लगाना चाहें। दूसरा सर, इससे किस किस तरह के प्रोडक्ट जैसे फ्लोर हो गया, राइस हो गया, दलिया हो गई, किस किस तरह के प्रोडक्ट इसके आउटपुट के रूप में मिल सकते हैं? थैंक यू।
We had discussion about in the case of Himachal, in the hills and all. So same that machine that you saw, the DLR, we can optimize it further to make it really small and can work with very low power, water HP or even much big. So I am an electronics and communication engineer, but I know exactly the dynamics and mechanism of this. We can actually miniaturize it so well and good that it can work with very low power but very high efficiency. depending, this is handling about 2 tons, but we can handle something around 50 to 100 kgs or 200 kgs a day also.
Okay.
It is possible.
So even we can discuss, we may be having number of questions and we can discuss during lunch time, because we are running short of time, so we can move to next panel discussion.
पैनल डिस्कशन में कितना कौन kindly please.
Chairman of this session and co-chair, I want to just highlight 4 things. That as a scientist of seabed post-harvest engineering and technology, we have developed one pre-processing system. Basically, if we see the recovery, for enhancing the recovery, people generally use parboiling. Parboiling is a kind of very lengthy process in paste type. So we have just mechanized one system, and that is a kind of scratching. So in this pre-processing, we just develop scratches on the hull. So whatever dehullers we are using, either abrasion, CIA wheel or centrifugal, it is the add-on method which can enhance the efficiency and reduce the brokens. Then we can achieve the profitability. Then another is the separation. Separation is the main challenge. If we see the after dehulling, there is a mixture of dehulled and undehulled grain. So we are developing is a indent type separator, and then we can achieve the separation 100% through mechanical. And also this Dr. Malleji sir told this shelf life. The shelf life is very limited. Already lab type technology has already been developed, so we are scaling up that technology and in line to develop pilot plants at seafed. Also right now this Stanley sir has told this dalia, so we have prepared one prototype for millet making dalia, which creates 100% dalia without any powders. So this is the 4 things which I want to highlight to the house. Thank you.
Balak Arora, has he come? From Sadhguru Superfoods. So if he has not come,
She is gone, I think yesterday. She's not.
so we can conclude it, sir, please. Yeah. Anyhow, I wanted to, although I am basically an agronomist, I don't want to speak much for these machineries, but I have seen in our 10 kVKs, we have 10 kVKs. In all the 10 kVKs, we have installed these machineries, particularly the millet processing machines. And in fact, to my surprise, even in the bullock cart, the farmer comes in a queue. They stand from morning to evening. They get their product processed, maybe dalia or even rice or even atta, and it works very nicely. I was so happy to see. Before that, we used to go for this mud to encash this processing component, or even FPOs also. Gram Panchayati also we used to go. Now KVK is serving a very good place where farmers know that processing machines are there. Definitely for all other universities, if they adopt this, it will be excellent, and it is a very good sync for all the machineries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva Ramoji. So we have reached at the end of this session. In this session, we had 6 presentations plus 1 video presentation. And in addition to that, we also had a panel discussion, but in that only one scientist was there, Solanki. So in this session, all the presentations were very good. Even as requested at the initial remark, most of them have avoided to finish. So I appreciate and I thank all the speakers. And in this session, a few points highlight, number of points have been highlighted, but I will mention a few points. One is that there is need for policy support for promotion of millets, particularly from value addition point of view. Another, processing of millet should be done at the farm gate initially, so that will enhance the income of the farmer. Another, whenever we want to promote millets, we need to highlight the nutritional or therapeutic benefits of the millets, so it can be promoted in a better way. Another, there is need to mechanize pre as well as post production operations of the millet, so that we can reduce the cost of cultivation for the farmers, as well as we can reduce the drudgery involved in cultivation of millets. Then we should have, or we should develop, or we should integrate different processing machinery for processing of millets. And one more last point I may like to highlight, that we should have some standards for different products of the millets, as highlighted by me as well as by Dr. Neelam. So in the end, I thank all the presenters in this session, as well as I also thank all the participants for their discussion, and I thank my co-chair, Dr. Dr. H.S. Sivaramoji, who is Director of Research West Bangalore, and the convener of this session, Dr. Manish Srivastava, who is Dean Horticulture and Forestry of this university, and both the rapporteurs, I don't know their faces. Okay, Dr. Ghanshyam Agrawal and Dr. David from this university. So thank you all, and I also, again I thank the host for inviting me to be part of this important session, and I learned a lot during different presentations. Thank you.
I'm just sharing my contact number. If anyone is interested for more information, you can note down my number, and it is 9440 870 875. 9440 870 875. So our company name is R360 Eco Ventures.
Thank you so much, sir. I congratulate all for a very successful and informative session, and surely it has come up with very important, significant suggestions, and those will lay the foundation for future plan of work. Thank you so much. And now it is the time to felicitate our co-chairs, lead speakers and panelists of the session. I would like to request the convener of the session to kindly felicitate our co-chairs, Dr. C.R. Mehta sir, Director CIAE Bhopal, by presenting a memento and Angavastra. Thank you so much, sir. Maybe we will have a big round of applause. Sir, kindly felicitate Dr. H.S. Shivramu sir, Director Research, US Bangalore. Request you, sir, to kindly felicitate our lead speakers, Dr. C.R. Mehta, sir, Dr. R.T. Patil, sir. Kindly felicitate Dr. R.T. Patil sir by presenting memento and Angavastra. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, kindly felicitate Dr. N.G. Maleshi sir, former Director CSIR.
Okay. Next is Dr. Stanley sir, Principal Scientist, ICAR, IAMR, Hyderabad. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. G. S. Sahai sir, Principal Scientist and Head, CIAE Bhopal. Dr. Sahai sir. Dr. Sahai sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Neelam Upadhyay, Madam, Senior Scientist, Division of Food Science and Post Harvest Technology, IRI, New Delhi. I again request you, sir, to kindly felicitate our panelist, Dr. Chandan Solanki, sir, Senior Scientist, CFET Ludhiana, by presenting Angavastra and Momento. Thank you so much, sir. And MN Dinesh Kumar, sir, from RRA Network, Hyderabad, Telangana. I would like to request, at the end, I would like to request Saurabh Singh sir to kindly felicitate our convener of this session, Dr. Manish Srivastava sir, Dean Horticulture and Forestry, by presenting. This is the last one, sir. Kindly accept. Momento and Anurag. I request all co-chairs, lead speakers and panelists to kindly gather here for a group photo of the session. Thank you so much. Saurabh Singh sir for a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. So as we come to the end of this wonderful technical session on value chain and marketing for millets and millets-based products, it's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor for their insight to conduct this national consultation on food systems for sustainability and profitability of millets. Thank you so much, sir. I want to express my heartfelt thanks to the chairman, Dr. C.R. Mehta, sir, Director CI Bhopal, for his insight on pre and post production mechanization in millets. Sir, you have very well told about the intervention of this mechanization. The cost of cultivation will also reduce, and also the machinery involved should be under subsidy program. Thank you, sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to the co-chairman of the session, Dr. H.S. Sivaramu, sir, Director Research, US Bangalore, for briefing about the importance of millets. I would express my deep sense of gratitude to the convener, Dr. Manish Srivastava, sir, Dean College of Horticulture and Forestry, RLB CAU, Jhansi, for successful conduction of this important session. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Dr. N.J. Malesi, sir, former Director, CSIR, CFTRI, Mysore, for enlightening us by technological aspects enhancing the shelf life of millets, and so many other aspects like clinical trials need to be done for estimating the benefits of millets. I am also very thankful to Dr. R.T. Patel sir, former director ICR CFET Ludhiana, about the unlocking the potential of millets, new age products. Sir, you have briefed very well how these millet crops are very lucky, as our Honorable Prime Minister has taken the initiative for this crop. I also extend my thanks to Dr. J. Stanley sir, Principal Scientist, ICR IMR Hyderabad, for delivering the insightful information on demand creation measures and value chain models in millets. Sir, you proved very well that millets are the ideal crops for food and nutritional security as well as the economic security. Thank you, sir. I am also very thankful to the lead talk speakers, Dr. C.S. Sai sir, Principal Scientist, ICRCI Bhopal, Dr. Neelam Upadhyay ma'am, Senior Scientist, IRA New Delhi, and the moderators of the panel discussion, Dr. Chandan Sobanki sir, Senior Scientist, ICR CFET Ludhiana, for highlighting the key points, and Dr. M.N. Dinesh Kumar sir from Hyderabad. I am grateful to our respected statutory officers, deans and directors for their gracious presence during the technical session. I am thankful to the reporters of the session, Dr. Ghanshyam Abrol and Dr. David Challa Bhaskar, for pen down the important points in compilation of the final proceedings. Last but not least, it would be unfair to not mention that active participation and patience hearing of the delegates during the entire session. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
A very good afternoon, sir. Sir, actually in exhibition, I am going to announce the prizes first, second, and third. Sir, actually there were total 23 entries for millet competition, and for millet showcase there were 12 entries in 2 days, sir. So there were 2 categories, sweet and snacks category, and for each category we have kept the price for first, second and third, but as we got the major entries for sweet category, so we have the consolation, 3 consolation extra prizes were also there. So I'm going to announce first. So there were 3 jury members who has who has judged the recipes. So first of all, I request you to felicitate them, sir. So I will call one by one. So please come. First, Divya Deepak Thakkar. Ma'am, she is from Ahmedabad. Sir, second is Shakshi Jimny. She's from RR Networks. So there was Dr. Prabhat Pathak, but he's then next is next jury member was is, next I'm announcing the first, second, third prizes for sweet category. First, for sweet category, Sheikh Mohammed Muski from ITM University. Second prize is Pallavi Shukla. So second is Pallavi Gupta for sugar-free brownies. Third, Hari Om for Samakheer.
In student category, Jyotishmita Das first. Okay, the group is there: Jyotishmita Das, Aanchal Singh, and Bhavna Verma. All are third. Please come. They prepared kol petha dish, a sweet dish.
Next, in snacks category, first prize is for Alka Agarwal. Alka Agarwal. Next, in snacks category, Alka Agarwal, first prize. Shikha Gupta, second prize. Shikha Gupta. Third prize is Krishan Kant Sarvaria. In consolation prize, Joya. Then consolation prize again, Shikha Gupta. Shikha Gupta. Shikha Gupta again. In consolation prize again, Jada Parli. Then in hotel category, first prize goes to Natras Rover. Hotel category, Natras. Thank you, sir. In actual जो first prize है, they will given 5,000 free. और जिन्हें भी प्राइज मिला, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड प्राइज मिला है, प्लीज वो अपना अकाउंट नंबर दे दें तो उनको जो उनके लिए प्राइज मनी है वो उनके अकाउंट में चली जाएगी. ओके, थैंक यू.
ताली बजाना एक्सरसाइज करता है, जोरदार ताली बजाए एक बार.
I congratulate to all the winners of different competitions, recipe demonstrations, etc. Thank you so much for your active participation in this 2 days national consultation meet. I again thank you all on behalf of our university. I am also thankful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and Commissioner Sir Singh Sir for felicitating us and joining us in this session and awarding the winners. And I request to all to join the lunch and we will gather for the next session after lunch. Thank you so much. 2:50. We will gather here at 2:50. 2:50.